So Kyabje Khunu Lama Rinpoche said in the prayer to Bodhichitta, if you wish to benefit yourself, then generate Bodhichitta. So that's the best one. So usually even we received the philosophical teachings, extensive teachings from Bodhichitta, how to develop Bodhichitta, other to selves. But you see in the daily life, when you work for yourself, you never think about Bodhichitta. Never relate to that. Actually, you're living your life, never relate to that. That just becomes study, just study. Teacher explained, and you learn, but in your daily life, you see, your life there's a big space. There's a big space. Like Katamba Geshe, they used to say, you see, yeah. So you do a lot of things. You do a lot of things, retreat or study or do a lot of things, but your mind didn't become Dharma. So there's a space between Dharma and your heart, like a person can go through, like that, you see, space. So like that, here, similar, you start extensive about how to develop Bodhichitta, the philosophy, Abhisama, Alankarika. You study a lot, but your life totally not related with that. You don't live your life with that teaching. So it just become only study in the Gamba, study in the just in the class, and so just like university or some school or sort of, like that. So your work, your family work, your work has nothing to do with Bodhichitta, never related with the Bodhichitta. Just kind of far away, big space. Kind of like that, you see, that happens. Of course, we, from beginningless rebirth, we have not been habituated with Bodhichitta. We only have been habituated with a self-cherishing thought, selfish mind, only habituated with that. From beginningless, not only from this morning, from birth, but from beginningless rebirth, our mind has been habituated with the self-cherishing thought, selfish mind. So because of that, then even here, we are studying extensive teachings, not just Lamrim, the kind of like drops, of the subject, not just that with the extensive philosophy, or the graduate meditation to lead to Bodhichitta, or course to actualize Bodhichitta. So all that thing, but that just merely becomes study, study, then you teach others. So merely like that. So actually it's about living the life, the main thing is to live your life in that experience, you see. But you see, whatever important you're doing, but you see, it's a kind of a big space between Bodhichitta and your mind. So like that. So then, of course, because of that, a lot of obstacles happens. A lot of obstacles happens. Your work do not get succeed. And many obstacles arises. So you see many obstacles for success. So like that. Oh, because the motivation done with the selfish thought, and like that. You see, and you don't know that, you don't realize that, and then so many obstacles comes in your job. So that you see, the selfish mind brings causes. But you don't recognize. They don't recognize. You think it's only coming from outside, not coming from your mind. So that's normally how it is. Most people in the world like that. Who had Dhamma, who haven't met Dhamma, who have met Dhamma. Majority is more or less same like that. You see. So here, so if you want to benefit yourself, generate Bodhichitta. You understand? So from that, everything goes, wow. Lama Tsongkhapa said, Sambasana, Satan Lamian Sang, Samang, Satan Lamian, Tamja Sambatala Rale bad. Oh, that's really, if your motivation is good, then even when you travel, even the path of Bhumi, so everything's good. So so less obstacle, because so everything's good. Everything turns out good. The motivation is bad, even the path of Bhumi, so even when you travel, when you walk the road in the ground, everything turns out, so many problems, so many obstacles. Everything depends on your motivation. So everything depends on your motivation, what's the good, what is a good heart or bad heart. So like that. You see, as I mentioned in the beginning, but even you are king or president, running country, president or prime minister running country, but the motivation is not bodhicitta, ultimately heart benefit others, totally benefit, not that. So then self-cherishing thoughts, everything what you do, to get a power for yourself, to get a happiness for yourself, for your eye. So everything like that. So whatever you do to get a wealth for yourself, all like that, by using others, by using the population, and then to get a wealth for yourself, for your eye. So everything like this. So then what happens is that you don't think of others' happiness, others' suffering. You're not concerned. Only you're concerned of your family, yourself. Your family, yourself, on that. So then gradually, the population do not like you. You see, but that the way you do not fit with the population. Then they become more unhappy, they suffer more. So like that, then starts war, civil war, whatever it is. Then like Syria, then happens like this. There are many innocent people, not political, but many innocent people, hundreds, 100,000, they get killed. Then one person who has power, influence, but did not bodhichitta, did not even not actual bodhicitta, but even the just moderation alone, even didn't have. So totally selfish. Then so many people have to suffer, died, and escaped from your country, refugees. Then they, by boat, they can go away, but they sink in the water, in the ocean. What a problem, what a problem, what a suffering, the population gets. So that you see, that's just an example. Or then you see later, then when you become a higher, a prime minister or a president or whatever, king, whatever, something like that, then you see gradually, then the culture, your work, you see, for the self-cherishing thought, then it comes out, shows out your garbage, it shows out, then, then people don't like, then later you have a nickname, you see everybody complain, you have bad name. So instead of ending your life good name, you end your life bad name. So anyway, so that. So highest like that. Then the country will never get happiness. People have no happiness. So much suffering, so much problem. If you wish to benefit yourself, then generate bodhicitta. That you have to keep in the mind. So that itself each time you do that, itself becomes great puja. You understand? Then, so much money, you will borrow, you don't have. You borrow from others, you can't pay, or the whole life in the debt, and drink puja. So I'm just giving example, but like that, you see. So you generate bodhicitta, all that thing you don't need, and success comes. Success, all the happiness comes. You see, all that expensive, you don't, you see, your good heart is the principle of success, your happiness. That's something really have to think about. Otherwise, just status. So what? Status. It's nothing, it's like, as I said, feeding the computer, feeding the brains, like that. You see, your life is not in that. What are you teaching? Your life is not in that. So it's very sad. So what happens? Conclusion is very, very sad. You know what is you can tell because you study, but your life is not in that. So it's very sad. You see, at the end, it's very sad. You didn't practice what you learn, what you teach. So that thing. If you wish to benefit others, generate bodhicitta. Of course. Then again, very effective. If you generate bodhicitta, working for others, very effective. You understand? I don't have to shout more than that. If I shout double than that, then I have to go to the institute. Institute what? Mental institute. Huh? Mental science. What? So see, yes, you see the people at the beginning before you do the walk, but I mean, I want to do, there's some, it looks like benefiting sense in the walking, so it's out. You see, it's like looking after children project or looking after children, old men, old folks, or some person thing. Then when you actually do the work, because you have some kind of good heart to start, but then when you actually work, the work is very heavy. The work is a lot of problems, a lot of responsibility, a lot of heaviness. Because then that everyday meditation on Lama Rinpoche is not there. Because so much work, so much problems, so much difficult, so very heavy on you. So you don't make time for meditation. Lama Rinpoche, going through Lama Rinpoche. You see the goal, how to develop Bodhichitta, from good devotion, slowly coming there. You don't do that, and then you don't do that, and you think you don't have time. You tell yourself I don't have time to meditate, and then you tell yourself. Even you have time, even you give me time, even you can get up a little early, you can do that. But you give a lot of time for sleeping. We've been sleeping from beginningless rebirth. From beginningless rebirth, we've been sleeping. So what? That didn't free us from samsara. But Dharma is the only one, but then there's no time. You don't give time for Dharma. They want to sleep. Must sleep. Many hours must sleep. Many hours must sleep. You don't know that you have been sleeping from beginningless rebirth. You don't think, must sleep for my health. Must sleep. Many hours. But you never think you have slept from beginningless rebirth. There's a time, but you don't give time to yourself. And you get much more time for sleeping, for other things, pleasure of this life. So then they say, I don't have time. So like that, even the meditation, Lama practice like that. So no time. No, then you don't realize that Bodhichitta. Of course, if you have, if you have, then you do everything with that. So, of course, not that. So you see, then so heavy, the job is so heavy, so many problems. So heavy. Then problem. Then you see, you never give time to yourself to meditate, to make the mind. To meditate Lama means, you have to understand what it means, making the mind free. Making the mind, you make your mind free, and you make your mind happy. You bring peace in your mind. You bring peace in your mind. You understand? That's my expression. That's my One person who is job? Comedian. Yeah, that's my comedian, you see. So it's like that. So then the problem goes, then because your mind, that little, very small, like the tsamba you throw in the water, there's a little bit into it, a little bit of good heart, that's gone. That's gone. That's gone. You don't realize it. It's gone. And then you have no time to, you don't give time to meditate or think then. Goes on, yes, and that, and then degenerates the mind. Mind is degenerated. Then you see, the motivation for work, self-cherishing thought, the biggest mistake in the work, self-cherishing thought and the attachment, the anger, then all that. You see, then yeah, the ignorance, that root of samsara, stronger, then ego, stronger, then you see, in the job, people, you fight people who don't please your attachment, people who don't help your self-cherishing thought, you fight back. You scored. Fight back in the end about who against your attachment, fight back against your self-cherishing, I'd rather kill. I said, it's like that. It's fight, kick out, if you're a leader, kick out, it's like that, you see. So, so, like that. Then you see then your life becomes junk, like the garbage in the can. You see, in the can there's a lot of garbage. You see, like the mud. Your life becomes mud. Filthy, dirty. With the expression of the expression of the your self-cherishing thought is attachment into all of that. So all negative karma, heavy negative karma. So that's what happens. So meditating Lama Rinpoche, you give freedom to yourself. Freedom to yourself. Give time to yourself to meditate on Lama Rinpoche. Get up earlier to meditate. So you see, especially with children, then you get up, same as children, then children get up, then you have no time. With children get up, there's time. If you're able to get up, there's time to do sadhana, to recite mantra. Before child get up, you get up earlier. There's plenty of time. There's plenty of time. Yeah. In the night time, you have the children went to bed, you have plenty of time. So when children go to bed, you go to bed. The time to work. So you get up earlier in the morning. Before children get up, then you have time. I have no time. You don't give time yourself. Then if I say, so like that. Okay, that's enough.